what you had said about resisting change and the internet slowing that down, which we talked about, but it was like a different angle of that, of just how like you go online and it's slowing down people's acceptance of change or ability to go with change quicker because they see something that is old because it was posted on the internet and then it's still there, and then it triggers other people to talk about or believe that it's evidence for the fact that that's the only thing that exists, because or that's still happening on whatever level it's happening, when maybe it's changed completely by now, but the internet's not quick enough to catch up on that, and it just gets dragged behind, and then people see that and then they go, oh, it's still going on, and then it becomes even less quick. And
the phrase I use is the willingness to change.
Willingness to change, yeah.
Because like below the you can phrase it like all those other ways. I can't remember what the other ones you said. But,
ability
to change,
resistance to change.
Yeah. So you mentioned a couple other things in there too, but like ability is one example of the like people's ability to change is innate to them because that's what we do all the time. So it's like we have that ability, and then it's like how much do we want to resist it? So that's where the resistance will come in. It's like we can change, we do change, all these other things, but the willingness to change and the resistance side of it, more not so much resistance because almost everything can be resistance. So it's like the resistance is just we could talk about hundreds of ways of doing that, like forcing things outside us to change, or like shutting down, or anything in between. Like there are so many different versions of resisting change, and below all of that is if you're not willing to change, then you have resistance. So it like the willingness is kind of the root of it. If you're willing to change, then resistance can't even be a factor. Like it can't even come into play. So if you're just like, okay, I'm willing to change, like if something does come up and change is happening and I have the ability to change and all this other stuff, it's just like this natural occurrence, and the person is like, something came up and I'm okay to I can go with this, then you don't even have to deal with things like, I don't know if I'm okay with this, or how do I do this in a way that I'm not going to suffer as much as it's changing, or things like that. Like all those other things don't even have to come up, and they only come up to reflect to us that we are not willing. So when we're willing to change, when we have the kind of like the freedom, and you can't say freedom of or freedom from or something. I was trying to frame it in some way that it's like, you're free of the resistance or free of any problems that could come from change. But it's just when you're free, then you can make all of the choices, and the obvious choice, it doesn't even become a choice at some point. It's almost like the tradition becomes just the way you are. When you're free, you don't even have to make the choice to be like, okay, I'm fine with change and I'm not going to resist this time. It just becomes you're free to go and you have free will, and now you can make all of your choices freely and things will just happen. It's like, okay, cool, this is what I get to work with.
Change is almost a word that when you look at it on that level, that it's like, why even say the word change? Because you're just really existing. It's just whatever is happening. And it's like, I'm not going to describe what is happening by saying that's happening. That doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah. Change really is a synonym for life, existence, experience. Like, just they're all kind of the same. It's just we have the specific words. Words are really precise tools, which I need to get really good at because I want to write books. So I need to learn how to use these words precisely. But we come up with all these words to make really refined cuts into reality. Like we try and cut down, like segment off what the difference is between experience and existence, and it becomes this, like, those aren't things, but we make words as a kind of collective agreement about what that word is pointing to in relation to the other words that are similar to it, which is funny. So it's like, if I say existence or experience or life or change or anything, we all have a just collective agreement about what that word is intending to imply about the whole framework of reality and like the bubble, that all is the same thing, which is kind of a funny thing about words. Yeah, change is redundant. It's just, but it's also so core to our existence because we are in a, you know, continuum. We have a lifespan from birth to death. There's time, there's momentum and motion and space and all that. And yeah, we see change.